Magnus Carlsen trying to haymaker his webcam, swearing on camera, lobbing bottles around. He's enraged. Why on earth is he so mad? Well, we're gonna dive into the game that sent him over the cliff. Pure tilt mode. He was playing with black. It was the grand final, the first part of it, and Alireza Firouzja, his young opponent, in a must-win situation. Alireza kicks off with d4. Magnus goes for this solid Queen's Gambit declined, and already out of the opening, Alireza missteps. We get this exchange variation, a Carlsbad pawn structure soon coming on the board. The bishop developing, c6, and now queen c2 is actually the main move. We're going to see why. e3 sets up the famous Carlsbad pawn structure. Is it spelt with a K or a C? No one knows. Many chess professors have died in the pursuit of the knowledge. Magnus goes bishop f5 and Alireza has a think. Because he knows queen f3 is the main move. You drive this bishop back to g6 and then you get this mass liquidation on f6. The lady's leaving the board. But you get an endgame, only with a small edge. Not what Alireza wants. So he goes knight g to e2 after a minute and a half of thought. That's a long time in a rapid game. We get h6, putting a question to the bishop. It drops. Knight b to d7 developing and f3. We'll see Alireza's idea soon. Bishop e7 played, bishop f2, the clergyman reunited, and Magnus drops back prophylactically, anticipating knight g3. Hitting this square and also supporting a push. Queen b6 tickles the b2 pawn. Alireza defends, castles, and now he'd love to put his bishop on d3, challenge this sniper, but e2 has to be selected. You can't allow the trade. Queen captures, b pawn dropping, rook fe8, keeps an eye on the e4 push, and that's why Alireza doesn't castle. Bishop d6 comes. How do you achieve e4? Black fully equalised and with no issues. So what does Alireza do? He pushes on with e4 here. Very double-edged. I should say as well, black has more than equalised, is better here, and especially if after this capture, Magnus now finds the move of rook a to d8, because e5 is a threat, but not with the rook on d8. Then the knight could capture the pawn, no recaptures, or you drop your queen on d2. That was the way to go, but Magnus gets a bit trigger happy here. He pushes forward with an immediate pawn to c5, but there's a problem. Alireza exploits it now. If he takes, no good. Black simply recapturing, doing great. If you push with d5, no good. Black gets this huge grip on the dark squares. So e5, the principled move. Now Magnus takes on d4. This is his point. You take my knight on f6. I take yours on c3. Yes, you're on my queen, but I'm on yours with check. Black is doing fine, but after captures here, bishop blocking, forced. If you moved your queen, you're simply losing a piece. Magnus has missed something. There's a problem. Alireza now finds the move. Now, just to show you, it's not takes, knight recaptures, win a piece, because there's this problem. Knight d3 check. The bishop is pinned, this one's supported here, and if you sidestep here, you get mated. If you sidestep here, you walk into a d-file cannon, and where's this king going? Can't move. If it steps here, still on a line of check. This knight's about to move, some huge material is dropping. So taking first, no good, but what Magnus has missed is this move of knight to a4. And by the way, you couldn't take the knight first immediately or the bishop dropped on d4. Black was fine. Here, however, black is not fine because you do have to move your queen. Now knight takes here. Magnus recaptures, but it's white to move and there's two pieces under fire. Which one should you take here? A fork in the road for Alireza. A delicious decision to make. It's like picking between biscuit and cake.
Father beating. Biscuit or cake?
Biscuit or cake? Biscuit or cake? Let's see.
For God's sake, hurry up, man!
Biscuit. No cake!
Should you take here first, or should you take here, not played, queen recaptures, and then take here? Well, this was actually the way to go, but Alireza very scared of opening these files for the rooks. This one could be coming, but then there's queen c3. If rook here, still white's okay, but you have to tread carefully. What does Alireza do? He immediately takes the piece, but he's overlooked a big problem. Rook a to d8 comes, and it's threatening knight d3 check, then rook takes bishop on d4 because the queen's defense intercepted. Remember, the bishop's pinned. So many problems. That's why you can't go queen c3. This one comes, the king starts getting hunted. So castles, best move, played, but now knight e6, a backwards retreating move. Alireza had no better. Miraculously, here Magnus is winning his piece back. No knight f5 or takes, no knight e2. So we get bishop f3, hits the queen, it slides into d6, the bishop dropping. Now we see takes on g7, Magnus picks up his piece back, we see takes, knight recaptures, and Alireza at least wins a pawn. But Magnus lands this big check on e2. The knight recaptures. Rook takes. Magnus more active than a Japanese KFC on Christmas Day. It's enough compensation for the pawn. Alireza goes b4. King takes on g7. Rook f4. Great move. Looking to stack the two towers, but rook b2. Magnus pressuring first on the queen side. Therefore a4 played. Now preparing to move the rook, not drop the a pawn, and Magnus doesn't rush with his own invasion. This is classy. What does he do? Takes a timeout with bishop to b1, blocking Alireza's rook out of the game. Awesome stuff. The rook could even check from d1 now in some lines. So Alireza drops back, covers that square, and f5. What a move. What an activation of the bishop. Look how it cut this one, then supports the pawn thrust. h3 played now, giving the king some Lufthansa. King f6, always activate your king in the end game. Rook a3, king e5 hits the rook. Alireza doesn't blunder it. He is a minute and a half down now on the clock. This is online chess. They're playing with the mouse speed. Try not to mouse slip. And bishop e4, great switchback from Magnus. Remove the defender of this king. The emperor's got no clothes. Bishop takes on e4 played. Of course you recapture with the pawn. Not just because king takes is illegal, but look at the past one now running dangerously. We see a check and which way to go. The roads diverge in the yellow wood. Magnus Carlsen does not pick up the king and play king to f4. That is a great way to get checkmated in one move. That's why Stockfish poops its pants. Look at the evaluation bar. King caught in a net out of nowhere. Magnus comes this way, of course. He's not a patzer. We see rook takes on h6. Alireza 2 pawns to the good, but it's all about the quality of the pawns and pieces. g4 now pushed. The rook switches back. That king naked as the day he was born. Rook f6 preparing to do some defense. And after check, rook blocking, Magnus Carlsen now makes just the most terrible move. But rumour has it a particularly pungent Moroccan tagine had just been served in the hotel restaurant downstairs. Magnus in Casablanca, he gets a whiff, pure brain fog, and he doesn't take off this rook here, which is what you should do, and then start pushing the e-pawn. Cut the a3 rook from the action, and black's piece is way too active. Magnus instead switches back, threatening this perpetual check, but he's completely overlooked rook to g3. He had so much time on the clock as well. He's livid with himself. The big problem is now when the e-pawn pushes, the g-pawn is pushing and it's unstoppable. The perpetual's been taken care of. Magnus could go e2, but so what? Rook e1, you're just getting nowhere. Here's a sample line, but white's got it more than covered. You're never in time. White wins. So Magnus tries this. Rook e1, rook fe2, and what to do? These ones come off, but the pawn is blocked. Alireza pushing p down the board. We get check. King g2, now another check, king f1, and here's the big problem. When Magnus finally marches in his king, he can't even advance this pawn because it's pinned. He's currently threatening a mate. Of course, Alireza sees it, sidesteps, rook b1 check, king g2, now we see the rook switch back, king f3, and Magnus Carlsen resigns the game. He doesn't even want to let Alireza's juicer make it into a queen there. He doesn't want to see the juice bar explode all over his king, checkmate him. He's had enough. Livid, and he goes on to lose the match. If you don't know the details of that, see the video on screen here now. Thanks very much for watching. Do smash subscribe if you enjoyed, want to become a grandmaster, and I hope to see you again soon. Cheers.